Hello students. So today we are going to discuss Gibbs-Helmholtz equation. Now it is very important equation and it has very important to relate the very important state functions of the system. Now consider a system whose free energy in initial state is supposed to be G1. So what? Let G1 be the free energy of system in initial state. Now suppose temperature at which the initial state of system has the free energy of G1 is said to be what? T. So at temperature T, when temperature is T, the free energy of system in initial state is supposed to be what? G1. Now consider the temperature, rise of temperature from T to T plus dt, and remember dt is infinitesimally smaller change of temperature. So suppose temperature rise from T to T plus dt and dt is infinitesimal. Now at this new temperature, let free energy of initial state is supposed to be G1 plus dG1. Now remember, with increase in temperature by dt, free energy seems to get increased by dG1. So let free energy of initial state at new temperature, that is T plus dt, is G1 plus dG1. Now this is the free energy at new temperature. Now same consideration about what? Final state. Now let G2 be the free energy in final state at temperature T, and at new temperature, when temperature rises from T to T plus dt, obviously the free energy of final state seems to get increased also, and that is supposed to be G2 plus dG2. So suppose at new temperature, that is what? T plus dt, free energy of final state is G2 plus dG2. Now we know very well if pressure kept constant, so at constant pressure we know that dG is equal to minus SDT. So at constant pressure we have what? dG is equal to minus SDT. So for initial state, what we can do? For initial state we can write what? dG1 is equal to minus S1 dt, and this is supposed to be equation number 1. And for final state, state we can write what? dG2 is equal to minus S2 dt, and this is supposed to be 2. So when we subtract equation 1 from equation 2, what we get? I mean equation 2 minus equation 1 we get. So by subtracting equation 1 from 2, we get what? D G2 minus G1 is equal to what? Minus S2 minus S1 dt. So we know very well that G2 minus G1 gives what? Change in free energy, and S2 minus S1 gives change in entropy. And remember S1 and S2. So remember where S1 and S2 are entropies of initial and final states respectively. So this can be given as d delta G, that is change in free energy, equals to minus delta S dt. Now this is very important generalization. So further what we can do at constant pressure, if dt is shifted, so this can be given as d delta G by dt at constant what? Pressure, equals to minus of delta S. Now this is supposed to be equation number 3. And we also know that what? Delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Therefore minus delta S is equal to delta G minus delta H upon what? T. So this is very important thing. What? The minus delta S is equal to delta G minus delta H upon T. So if we substitute this in equation 3, then what comes? So thus equation 3 becomes, so what happens? Take a look. So d delta G by dt at constant what? Pressure, equals to delta G minus delta H upon T. So by rearranging this, we get what? Delta G equals to what? Delta H plus T into d delta G by dt, that too at constant what? Pressure. So this is the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation at constant pressure. But what happens at constant volume? That is to be known. So similarly, at constant volume, what happens? Delta A equals to delta U plus T into d delta A by dt at constant volume. Now remember, where delta A is change in Helmholtz free energy. Remember, delta G is Gibbs free energy change, and delta A is Helmholtz free energy change. So where delta A is what? Helmholtz energy change, and delta U is what? Obviously internal energy change. So this gives the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation at constant pressure, and this is the Gibbs-Helmholtz equation at constant volume. Thank you very much.